Hello and welcome to my flawless sleepover. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do a sit down chit chat video with you all, and I rarely do this just because I'm more of a creative person, but just to be honest with y'all, I just feel like I'm a little burnt out and my creative juices are kind of like low, and so I decided to just do something different, spice things up a bit, and just update you all with my dating life. So I identify as non-binary, my pronouns are he, him, and his, and I love being more feminine and presenting myself in that way. And so the types of men that I attract are types of guys that are into trans women, non-binary people, basically guys that are just attracted to femininity from my experience. With that being said, the last serious thing that I had was back in November of 2021. It was a situationship, but I ended that because, of course, I didn't want to come into the new year with somebody that you know, didn't want what I wanted and it couldn't fulfill my needs. And so I was like, I deserve better. And so I left that last year. I haven't seen him since. We did text a couple of times, but it just doesn't seem like it's in our cards right now, or if ever, which is kind of sad, but you know, life goes on. Sometimes people are in your life for a season, a lot of times for a reason, and that's okay. So this year I really have allowed myself to be more open and meet new people, allow myself to be single and be on the dating scene, especially since for the past decade I've been so busy working on myself and working on work and content and all that stuff, and so I really feel like I owe it to myself to be able to have these experiences and go on dates, hook up with guys and have guys over and all this stuff and just have fun. As long as I'm safe and I'm communicative, I think what's the harm? As you know, I've been documenting my dating life here and there on my stories and even on my channel. I did post one about the very first date that I had this year, which I just didn't feel a spark. And more so recently, I did go out on a date with this guy. He was a really great guy, but things just didn't work out. He was the first guy I ever went on a second date with, which is a milestone for me. Okay, I was like, this is exciting, this is fun. Even though I went on my second date, it did not progress to date number 3, unfortunately, because of personal reasons that he was going through. The most important thing being that he wanted to move to New York to pursue Broadway and acting, which is great and all, but it's like, I want to be with somebody that's already living their dream and not chasing a dream. That way we can both be living our dreams together. You feel me? But I will say I did really appreciate him for all that he was when we were dating, for the 2 dates that we were. He did reach out to me on Instagram, so that was a nice change of pace, not the grind. And he actually ended up driving 2 hours to see me over here in Orange County, okay? And to me, I really liked that because when I look for a guy, it's not like, oh, he's funny, he's nice. It's like, those are the bare minimum things. But the fact that he drove 2 hours to see me, I was like, okay, I like that. That quality is like above and beyond, and that's something that I really liked about him. We ended up watching the new Jordan Peele Nope movie with Keke Palmer. We love horror movies. Both of our favorite movies are Scream. We love slasher films. And something else that we had in common is that we both have a sibling. We both had moms that passed away, unfortunately, and so I feel like we were able to open up and be vulnerable with each other in such a short amount of time. I mean, we got along. Ooh, somebody Snapchatted me. Not my roster. But that's something that I really liked about our relationship, even though it was so short-lived. I was really sad about it, and not necessarily sad about like missing out on him because I only went on 2 dates with him, but I was more so sad about like the potential because I was already thinking about what to do on date number 3, and I was like, oh, so excited for that. But it is what it is, and you know what? I don't want to be with somebody that is too busy working on themselves, and I feel like, you know, there's a balance. You can still work on yourself while date, but he still had a dream to chase, so I support it. You do you, baby. Thank you for telling me so soon. As of recently, I've just been having fun, whether it's dates, having guys over, and sometimes we don't even like hook up or anything. Sometimes we just literally order food and we watch TV and we talk. And I think that this most recent experience with this one guy really inspired me to make this video. Also, I started journaling because of this dude. Not that he was like anything phenomenal, but it really opened up my eyes to a new perspective. And I think that's what's so great about being single and meeting new people, is just being able to meet all types of people in all walks of life and learning through a different lens and getting their experience and just gaining experience. It's all about experience. Basically, this guy, he came over with some Chick-fil-A. So good. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And we had a really good time. We were watching reality TV, and one thing led to another, and we ended up just talking about life, and he ended up opening up to me so quickly. And that's the thing that I've noticed with guys, is that they open up with me so quickly, and they are shocked themselves. And not to toot my own horn, but I'd like to think I'm a very warm and welcoming and inviting person. And so for me to be able to create a safe space for these dudes, it's like, it means a lot to me, because, you know, it says a lot about who I am as a person. He also lost his dad, and so we had that in common. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people have lost a parent. It's a really common thing, because, you know, throughout this past year, I've met up with so many different people, and that's a common thing, which is really sad. But that's something that we connected on. What's funny was that I showed him my house, and then we saw Piplup right here. This penguin, this is a Pokemon. He was like, oh my god, Piplup! And I was like, you know Pokemon? Girl, he was a nerd, and that was so unexpected, because he comes across as like a frat type of dude, but no, he was into Pokemon, and we were talking about it, and I've never had a friend that was into Pokemon as much as I was, and so it was really refreshing to be able to talk about my passion and hobby with someone else. It was a really cute thing, and we ended up talking about relationships, and this is like a red flag about him. Like, nothing was gonna come out of this. Honestly, I was just doing this for the experience, and you know, and so for him to just open up about his ex and how he's not over her, and he ended up reading me like the text that he sent her last week, girl. It really meant a lot, and I was like, wow, for him to feel safe enough to read me that text was really refreshing. And so anyway, I think we really bonded, especially over music. Oh my god, that's my favorite thing, actually. I do it all the time with guys. I ask them when they come over, I'm like, play me your favorite album. If you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be? And we whip it up on Spotify, we play it in the background as we're talking, getting to know each other, and I think that's my favorite part about these encounters. He's over here like singing his little heart out, little karaoke moment, because it was an album that he was listening to when he went through this said previous breakup, and so it was adorable but sad at the same time. And I think it really gives you insight into who they are as people, and that a lot of people need therapy, which he was going on. And actually a lot of these guys I've been talking to recently are going to therapy, which, proud of them. But it also shows me that like everybody's going through something, and that, you know, we're not all alone if you really think about it. But at the same time, it's like you have to acknowledge and be self-aware that you are going through something, and you have these baggage things that you need to unpack, the trauma, okay, before getting involved with another person. So he was very clear with his expectations that he was not looking for a relationship, but things kind of took a turn when he was like, yeah, like I'm in the closet, and I was like, sure you are, of course. And he was like, oh, I don't see myself with someone like you because you're not passable. And I'm like, well, I don't identify as a trans woman, so I don't feel the need to be passable, and you don't have to do anything for anybody, do it for yourself. And so he's like, yeah, it's just like the jawline and the Adam's apple. I will say at this point, he wasn't even talking about me. He was just saying in general. Like, in general, he wouldn't date somebody that isn't passable because of a jawline. But I took it personally. I was like, bye-bye. Because he essentially prefaced with, like, he wouldn't see himself dating me. And then for him to say, like, in general, like, low-key felt like it was about me, but anyway. But that's okay. I don't want to be with somebody that feels that way. But again, like, I was here for the moment. Like, besides that, his sense of humor was top-notch, I will say. I don't know, like, he honestly was one of the funniest guys I've ever met. He was just so witty, so quick on his feet, so witted, is that the word? And I was really attracted to that. And so, for me, going into this experience, I can take, like, certain aspects of this encounter and really build up my list of standards of guys and what I'm looking for. And hopefully, over time, as I'm meeting new guys, dating new guys, I can whip out this list that I've, you know, developed over the few years and see if, you know, the man of my dreams, Kim Tae-young, checks it all off. Very interesting experience. Unfortunately, he's also moving to the Pacific Northwest. Which, yippee-ki-yay, okay, great. We love when all these men are running away from me, but no, it's valid, you know, you live your life, you're single, do whatever you want, you know, people are still living for them, and that's something that I've come to realize too, is that people in their 20s, even in their late 20s, are still figuring themselves out. I just happen to be an anomaly and have my shit figured out pretty soon and quickly. I will say I was a little sad when he left because I was like, oh, when am I gonna see you again? I really loved your banter and your sense of humor, and he would like tickle me and like our little flirtiness and obviously getting into music, Pokemon, all that stuff. And he was like, I don't know, like if we don't see each other again, then appreciate the moment for what it was. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, I think we need to look more optimistically and positively, and you know, sometimes again people come into your life for a moment, and that's something that I'm like kind of realizing, is that sometimes these guys come into my life as a flicker of a moment in my life, and that's okay. For so long I've been yearning and longing for obviously a long-term thing, but you know, at the end of the day, this isn't a bad thing either, because I'm learning so much about people, I'm learning so much about myself, that when I do find that long-term thing, I will feel so equipped and ready and experienced for that. It's a little sad that being a queer person of color that's non-binary, trans, my dating pool is very narrow and the options that I have are a little limited, and so I really am just appreciating it for what it is. And you know, if this is as best as I'm gonna get right now, that's fine. If the universe is truly saying that there are better things out there for me, whether it's opportunities or guys or Taeyong from BTS, then so be it. That's fine. I will just put up with this, enjoy this ride and journey for what it is, and go along with it. People might say, oh, Kevin, you're attracting the wrong types of people. You should get off the apps, all that stuff. But, you know, even in real life, like, it is what it is. Like, that's just the common denominator. People in their 20s, you know, they don't have stuff figured out. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Maybe I am attracting the wrong types of people, but I'm not too mad at it because I'm a very optimistic person, and I'm just learning and growing and having fun as I go. It also has opened up my eyes, being, you know, a feminine person that isn't a woman, that there are hot guys out there that do desire me. Maybe not in like the way that I want, but hey, there are hot guys out there that do want me. And so hopefully one day, maybe down the line, whether it's them when they wake up and smell the coffee or someone else, it gives me hope to know that there are good looking guys, and of course good guys out there too, and that you know, maybe my situationship last year wasn't as funny as I thought, but then this guy the other time was really funny. It gave me hope that there are, you know, better guys out there. You just gotta be patient and endure all the things in between. So as of now, I'm just doing me, having fun. I will say there is a moment where it can get a little distracting because you're like constantly on the apps, so I actually did delete them. I'm on a little cleanse, on a little break, but I did collect my roster. So I basically have been texting or Snapchatting some people here and there, and you know, if we want to hang out, we'll hang out, but if not, that's fine, because I need some time to also work and do me and travel. I actually have a surgery coming up next week. I'm getting a hair transplant because I personally feel like my forehead is so big, but I'm gonna film and vlog all of that. So you'll see that in a separate video. Of course, if I cover it with bangs, it looks fine, but you'll see that. So this past year has truly just been an era of me doing me, living life for me because I deserve it. I owe it to myself to travel, to meet new people, to fuck around and all that stuff because I'm single. I don't owe anyone nothing, you know what I mean? So I hope you all enjoyed my little TED Talk. You know, it's like we're FaceTiming. I like this kind of stuff. I want to do more of this stuff, but I feel like nobody watches it. But you know what? I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing it for those that are watching. And so I hope you got inspired, got empowered to live life for you. Maybe put yourself out there and let go and move on from whatever is holding you back. Because I think the thing that helped me move on from my situationship is knowing that I deserve better and allowing myself to put myself out there and meet new people. One day I'm gonna look back on this and have a hubby of mine that is so tall, can sing, and it's from a boy band. And we'll all be laughing and we'll all be rejoicing that Kevin finally found the one because he deserves the best. But anyway, I love you all so much. Be sure to go and follow me on my other social platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at FlawlessKevin. I will be posting other variations of this type of content. I don't know, like sometimes I want to make skits about my boy stories. Maybe I'll do a 1-minute story time about a boy story, but this, I think, deserved a YouTube video. Be safe, use protection. I love you all so much, and remember everyone, to be flawless is to be yourself. Bye!